Good morning, Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond sisters. I thought, why not have you join me on my morning walk here? So this is where I walk every morning. It's beautiful. It's a way for me to start my day, to ground into the day ahead. And I was having a conversation with one of my clients the other day, and we were talking about this concept of clearing the slate and being open to thoughts, processes, ideas, new thoughts, processes, and ideas. Because one of the things as women, especially women who've been through a divorce, because I want to remind you, you are not your divorce. You're a woman who's been through a divorce. This is identity work. We tend to take masculine energy to run our life because we have to. It's not because we want to per se, but we have to, because if we don't run our life, if we don't keep the house going, keep the career going, keep the money going, keep the bills being paid, making sure everybody's managed, making sure the kids are managed, making sure our employees are managed, making sure life is managed, well then if one apple falls, that could cause havoc in our life. So we become hyper-focused on managing lives and managing things. Hello, Deborah. Hello, Kay. Hello, Lisa. So glad you're here. So one of the things we were talking about is this idea of, on this side of our life, on the personal side, I'm not talking about the business side. I'm not talking about the side that we use to cultivate family, friends, business. I'm talking on the personal side. If we could take a step back and realize that the tools that we've used on the business side to get ahead, to live, to excel, which are wonderful tools. I'm not saying that they're wrong, right? Being in that masculine energy and managing and doing and creating is not a bad thing. But on the personal side, if you're looking to attract love, if you're looking to attract a partner in your life, those tools don't correlate. What correlates actually is flow. What correlates actually is feminine energy. And that means that we are open to learning. We are open to saying, okay, the way I've been doing things hasn't been for naught, but maybe, just maybe, there's another way for me to see something. Maybe, just maybe, there's another way for me to look at the situation. So when I tell my clients, especially when we're through a wobble or we're going through a particular time or a trigger, a thought or emotion or a feeling, rather than going into the why is this happening to me, or really noticing that you don't want that feeling, rather is leaning into it. And hold on one second, I'm going to just change my view because, as you know, my coffee, right? I'm a big Starbucks girl, so I just had to change my view so I could drink my drink without my arm falling off. We go into the view of, instead of it being, why is this happening to me, or I really don't want to feel this, we turn it into curiosity of, isn't that interesting? What is it in my life right now? What is it that I'm experiencing? Who did I just have a conversation with? What was I just doing that ignited this feeling? Because what happens is, here's the real truth. Feelings are valid, and you deserve to feel every single feeling that you have. You deserve it. But the truth is, feelings are not facts. They are feelings. Your brain makes a really good servant. It makes a shitty leader. So if you're allowing your brain to rule your day, you are going to be emotionally dysregulated, which means that you don't know how your day is going to go, because it could be a good day if your brain is working the way you want it to, or it could be a bad day if it's not. And here at Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond, we have a global philosophy, which is good is not good enough. We don't live just a good life, we live an exceptional life. Hey, Yvonne. So Yvonne said, good morning. Interesting, but way easier said than done, though, right? So I hear you, Yvonne. And what I'm going to say to you, it's not easy or hard, because it's a label and a meaning that we're putting on it. What I would encourage you to think about is using the word different, right? Because it's just, that's all it is. It's not easy. It's not hard. It's not wrong. It's not right. It's not bad. It's not good. It's just different. Because we become accustomed to certain patterns and thoughts. They become habits. And if your life is not where you want it to be on the relationship side, if you're not in a happy relationship with yourself, with life, and with a partner, if you've been through a divorce or a separation or a breakup, and you want to bring in true love into your life and it hasn't manifested yet, then we do need to think a different way, right? Because that's the definition of insanity, is thinking the same things over and over and expecting a different result. So I love that you brought that to the table. And that's what I would say to you is just, why do we need to frame it as right or wrong, bad or good? How about we frame it as different? Because we are meaning makers, right? As a human being, we are going to make a meaning out of everything that we see, out of everything that we touch, out of every interaction that we come into contact with, whether that be the environment, a person, a connection. There's a saying that says, once a small child is told that they're seeing a bird, they will never see the bird again. And what that means is, once the child is told it's a bird, they'll never just be in that glorious state to see what they see. They've been told what to see. And that's what happens to us as women. Over the course of time, we've been told by society, by family members, by our exes, by friends, we've been told who we are. We've been told what to see. We've been told what's good and what's bad. Now, again, there's plenty of patterns, beliefs, and behaviors in our lives that are playing out, that are serving us, that they're wonderful. And let's keep going, right? But there's so many other patterns, beliefs, and behaviors that don't serve us anymore because we're living in a limited viewpoint of who we are. We're living in a limited viewpoint of what other people have told us who we are. So here at Divorcing Gracefully and Beyond, we are using our divorce, we're using this relationship breakup as a catalyst for our life, where we draw the line in the sand. And literally, right, being at the beach today, it's perfect. But we're drawing the line in the sand, and what we're saying is, I get to create me. I'm going to decide who I am. I'm going to decide what patterns, beliefs, and behaviors serve me. We could still be kind. We could still be nice. We could still love our family. Doesn't mean that you have to be mean. But you act in grace because you hold a standard for yourself. And you question. You question the thoughts and the patterns you have, not from a place of condemnation or shame, or this is bad, this is good, this is wrong, this is right. But you question and saying, does this pattern serve me? Does this belief serve me? Is this something that I even believe? Right, the other day, perfect example. I was impacted by a particular statement, and I started going down what I call the squirrely hole. And then I stepped back and I said, oh my God, like, who is that? It turned out to be, I'm switching my arm again, so give me 1 second, taking my coffee. All right. So who was that thought from? Because that wasn't even me. It had to be my mother, right? My mother's name is Ruthie. So I was like, oh my gosh, that thought is so Ruthie. That thought is not Donna. That thought is so Ruthie. And once I was able to reframe it and realize that, wait a minute, the thought, the pattern, and my reaction to the environment wasn't what I would have responded to. It was based upon what someone else would have responded to. It was my opportunity to say, wait a minute, give myself grace and say, how would I respond? And not from the Donna today, but the Donna and the identity where I'm moving in the future, the Donna and the identity that I'm creating in the future. How would she respond to the situation? What would she say? How would she react or respond? And that's when I got power over my life, power over my thoughts. And you can too. You are not a victim to circumstance. You are a master of cause. And just because you have a thought doesn't mean it's true. And feelings are not facts. They're feelings. They're valid. But invite your feelings in for a cup of tea, for a nice snack, right? Right now, you invite friends over. You probably put out a charcuterie board. You probably offer them a glass of Prosecco or wine. It's the same thing with our thoughts. Rather than avoiding them, wishing we don't have them, kind of going into the circle of why we're having them, trying to figure it out, trying to find logic, what happens is we end up just going in circles. Rather, how about we just invite them in? We surrender to them, but surrender as a strength. We have a conversation with them. We get into curiosity with them, and then we ask them to leave, and we replace it with the real truth, right? Which is your fact. You are a divine child. Your fact is you are love. You are not anything else other than that. You were created in it, and God does not make mistakes. He certainly didn't start with you. You are a beautiful soul. You have a gorgeous life ahead of you. Everything that's in your heart for you to create was not placed there as a sadistic joke. It was placed there because you have the tools to create it. And you're going to have to choose, which wolf am I going to feed? Am I going to feed the wolf of the past with the thoughts, patterns, beliefs, and behaviors of someone else's belief patterns ruling my life? Or I'm going to choose the wolf that I create. I'm going to choose that life, my thoughts. You get to choose every single day. Now, when you notice you're going down the path of squirrely thoughts, stop. Just notice it. Again, invite the charcuterie board, take it out, invite the thoughts in, and then replace it with your fact that you are a divine child. Your fact is that if you have a desire in your heart, you can absolutely have it. The fact is, if you haven't found love yet, it only means there's more work inside of you to get into alignment with your heart and your soul and your vibrational frequency for that to manifest. If it's in your heart, you could achieve it. If you could think it, you could achieve it. If you could see it, you could have it. The only difference is, do you believe it? That's the question for you today. What do you believe is possible for you? Do you believe you could have the desires in your heart? Do you believe you could have what it is in your soul? Or do you believe what other people are telling you what's possible? Anything is possible. No one could hear your soul's mission. No one could hear the inside of your drive, of your dreams, of your mission other than you. And you wouldn't be having those dreams, that drive, and that mission if you didn't have the tools inside of you to complete it. So with that said, I'm going to go ahead and finish my coffee, take Casey for her finishing of her walk, and I'll see you guys on the other side. Have a great day. Bye.